February 1968, a small village outside Saigon. A 7-year-old girl woke up to gunfire. She didn't know it yet, but her life was about to change forever. Viet Cong soldiers burst into her home. Her father tried to protect them. He didn't stand a chance. Her mother pushed her toward a cabinet. One word: hide! She grabbed her 4-year-old brother. They crawled into a cabinet. So small, so dark. She covered his mouth with her hand. He wanted to cry. She couldn't let him. Outside, she heard everything. Everything. Then, different gunfire. Louder, closer. American voices shouting. The door burst open. An American soldier, 22 years old. His name was Jack. He opened the cabinet and he found them. 2 children, terrified, alone. He knew immediately what had happened. Jack carried them to the American base, Bien Hoa Air Base. The girl, her name was Linh. She hadn't spoken since that morning. Neither had her brother. They just stared. Hollow. Empty. For 3 days, they didn't speak. The soldiers tried everything. Food, toys, smiles. Nothing. Jack stayed with them every night, just sitting there, waiting. On the 4th day, Jack pulled out a chocolate bar. He broke off a piece and he held it out to Linh. She didn't take it, so he took a bite first, smiled, and tried again. This time, she took it. Her little brother ate his piece, and then he smiled. The first smile in 4 days. Linh saw him smile, and she smiled too. Just a little, but it was there. The army couldn't find any family. Everyone in their village was gone. So they stayed. 3 years. Linh and her brother lived on that base, with Jack, with the soldiers. They became family. Linh taught the soldiers Vietnamese songs, lullabies her mother used to sing. At night, around the fire, 20 American soldiers would sit, and this 7-year-old girl would teach them the words. They'd try to repeat them, badly. She'd laugh. God, she'd laugh. She helped around the base, sweeping, cleaning, organizing supplies. She was 8 years old, but she wanted to contribute. In broken English, she told Jack, "You save me, I help you." The soldiers called her Little Sergeant. Every morning, Jack taught her English. "My name is Linh. I am from Vietnam. Thank you." She was a fast learner. Within a year, she was translating for the other soldiers. A 9-year-old translator in a war zone. And you know what? The soldiers wanted to learn Vietnamese too. Linh became their teacher. She'd correct their pronunciation, she'd make them practice. This tiny girl bossing around grown soldiers. They loved it. The soldiers taught her things too. How to defend herself. Basic combat moves. Jack would say, "If anything ever happens, you need to know how to protect your brother." She was 10 years old, learning hand-to-hand combat, because that's what you do in a war. In 1970, they took a photo. Jack, Linh, her brother, and 15 other soldiers. Everyone's smiling. Lynn's wearing Jack's dog tags around her neck, too big, hanging down to her waist. She refused to take them off. She still has that photo, 55 years later. Jack became more than a soldier to them. He was their father, their brother, their protector. Every night before bed, he'd tell them, "You're safe here, I promise." And they believed him, because Jack never broke a promise. Then, March 1971, Jack's unit got called for a mission. Heavy combat. Linh knew it was bad. She saw it in his face. She grabbed his uniform. "Don't go," she said in English. Jack knelt down. He looked her in the eyes. "I'll be back," he said. "I promise."
He boarded the helicopter. Lynn and her brother stood there, watching. Jack waved. She waved back. The helicopter lifted off, and she had this feeling, this terrible feeling. They waited. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. The soldiers wouldn't tell them anything, but Lynn could see it. In their faces, something was wrong. On the 4th day, a soldier named Mike came over. He was crying. He knelt down in front of Lynn and he handed her something. Jack's dog tags, the ones she'd been wearing. The ones Jack took back before he left. "He didn't make it," Mike said. "I'm so sorry." Mike gave her something else, a letter. Jack had written it before the mission, just in case. It said, "Lynn, if you're reading this, I didn't keep my promise. I'm sorry, but I need you to make me a promise now. Take care of your brother. Be brave and live. Live, Lynn. Not just survive. Live. Go to America. Be happy. That's all I want." Lynn didn't cry, not at first. She just held those dog tags for hours. And then, that night, she screamed. She screamed so loud the entire base heard her. All the pain, all the loss, her parents, and now Jack, everyone she loved, gone. The soldiers made a pact that night. Every single one of them. Jack wanted these kids to live, to go to America. We're gonna make that happen no matter what. 2 years later, April 1973, the Americans were pulling out of Vietnam. The base was being evacuated. Chaos everywhere. Helicopters taking off one after another. And the soldiers? They made sure Lynn and her brother were on one of those helicopters. They fought to get them on because they'd made Jack a promise. As the helicopter lifted off, Ling looked down at the base where she'd lived for 5 years, where Jack had saved her, where she'd learned to smile again. She pressed her hand against the window. Goodbye. They landed in California, San Jose. Lynn was 12 years old. She spoke English. She had Jack's dog tags, and she had Jack's letter. That's it. That's all she had. But she was alive. She was in America, and she was going to live. Lynn didn't just survive. She lived. She went to school, learned, worked hard. She graduated high school, then college. She got married, had children, built a life, the life Jack wanted for her. Her son joined the U.S. Army. When he told her, she cried. "Why?" she asked. He said, "Because of Jack, Mom. Because of what he did for you. I want to be like him." Now, her 2 grandsons are in the military, active duty. 3 generations, all serving the country that saved their grandmother. All because of one soldier who kept his promise, even after he was gone. Lynn is 64 now. Every year on March 15th, she goes to Arlington National Cemetery, to Jack's grave. She brings flowers and she tells him, "I lived, Jack. I kept my promise. Thank you. Thank you for everything. I'll never forget you. Never."